You guys, it is literally so cold. Like, where I live, it was negative 38 degrees. And where I work in a different town, it's like an hour away, it was negative 36 degrees. I am so cold. And like, I couldn't breathe because I'm asthmatic, and today was really rough. And like yesterday, you guys, yesterday I was trying to get these metal pans unstuck, and when it came unstuck, it went into my fucking eye. So like now my eye's all fucked up, and it really hurts to like open it, and like if you can see it, yeah, it's all bruised and like swollen, and it's great. But anyway, so I have literally been trying to make this video for weeks. Since I last made my video, the last video that I made and posted to tell you guys that this video was coming, I've been trying to make this video, and let me tell you, I'm having a hard time, guys. I'm having a hard time. My first video got deleted, and then my other videos, I kept forgetting what I was saying, and I was just so frustrated. I was done, and so I just deleted everything I had, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I will wait for another day, and I will make it again, and then shit got real. Man, it's been rough. I've been having a really hard last few weeks, and we're not even gonna get into that. Just know that, you guys, that I have been trying to make this video for you guys. I swear it. And I was like, you know what, I'm making this video, and however the hell it turns out, it's what you guys are getting. Even though I want it to be perfect for you guys, but you know what, yeah. So you guys get to see me with a fucked up eye, freezing. So I have my tea right here. Yeah. Eating my hair now, gosh. Anyway, so this is going to tell you about the first installment of the name series. I don't know how YouTubers do that, where they put their hand there and then the words float across. My editing skills are not that great, so you know, just pretend it's floating across the name series, you know. Okay, anyway. Why am I so close to you guys? Alright. I am so sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Anyway, so the first installment of the name series was obviously Beowulf. And I apologize in advance because I am having the hardest time pronouncing Beowulf. Okay, anyway, so Beowulf, he was inspired from my English class. I was literally 17, no. So I was 17, I was a senior in high school. We were reading the epic poem Beowulf in class, and it was really fascinating. I enjoyed it. I recommend you guys just check it out. A few of you asked me if I got my inspiration for Beowulf from the movie, but I have never actually seen the movies, so no, to answer your question. It was inspired from the actual epic poem that we read in class, and I am very glad that we had to read it in class because I really loved it. And if I had never read it before, then Beowulf and the name series would have never been created. So there's that. So yeah, we were reading the poem in class, and I absolutely loved the name Beowulf. So I wanted to write a book and have the main character's name be Beowulf, and I had zero direction of where I wanted the book to go. I didn't even have a title. Like, for the life of me, I could not think of a title for the book. So when I titled it on my computer to save it, I just titled it Beowulf because that was the main character's name. And then it just sort of stuck, and I was like, if I actually post it on Wattpad, then I'll come up with a better name, or name in general. But that never happened because I just couldn't think of a title, so I just left it at Beowulf. And I was like, well, you know what? Let's just have a series and call it the name series, and just have every title start with a name of the main character. So, you know, I thought it was clever, but not really. Not really. Anyway. This tea is so good, you guys. And it's so warm. And my eye hurts so bad. Yeah. Anyway, so that is how Beowulf came to be. I had zero direction, but I did know I wanted it to be a gay story. I wanted it to be boy boy. So I created Ridge. Ridge, he was inspired, his name was inspired, I should say, by a kid I went to high school with. He was younger than me. He was like, I think he was like a freshman or sophomore. And there was literally like 70 some people from 9th to 12th grade. No. 7th to 12th grade. That was the high school. I was in a school with K through 12, but the high school was considered 7 through 12. And so this kid, his name is Ridge, he was like 9th, 10th grade, I don't even know, but he was younger than me and his name was Ridge, and I just really liked his name. Couldn't stand the kid. So I guess I should thank him and his parents for having that as his name, because that's how Ridge got his name. He probably didn't even care for that. And this cat is being really weird. But we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna keep rolling. Keep rolling. So Ridge. Ridge was originally going to be just a human boy like Beowulf. But at the time, I was reading a Wattpad story called All It Took Was One Look by RoboKit. That was a boy book, but it was also a werewolf book. And I had never really written I had never really written werewolf books before. They had always just been vampire books and all that, but I never really written werewolf books before. It always just been vampire books, but I've never shared one of my vampire books with anybody. Wow, it's all my werewolves. Okay, well, the only supernatural I've ever really written were about vampires. Nobody's ever read them though. Maybe I'll do that someday. Guys, tell me if you want me to write a vampire book. I don't know. Are you interested in that, or are you just interested in werewolves? I don't know. Let me know. Anyway, so All It Took Was One Look by RoboKit. It was a werewolf and boy book. So I was like, why don't I write a werewolf book? So yeah, that's how it became a werewolf boy book. And All It Took Was One Look. It's on Wattpad. Go check it out. I loved it. She's actually published it, and I bought the book, and I have a hard copy of it. Anyway, so I decided to write my first werewolf book. That was quite the adventure, guys. I read werewolf books, but I had never written my own. So this was like all new territory for me, and I am actually pretty proud of how it turned out, considering it was my first werewolf book, and I was pulling ideas out of my ass. Literally, I had no direction for the book. I had no notes. I didn't know what I wanted to happen. I just knew I wanted them to be mates and fall in love and mate and have a happy, wonderful life. And I am a sucker for happy endings. I hate sad endings. I can't stand them. So all my books end happy and cheerful. So I knew I wanted that for Beowulf and Ridge. So Ridge also had a second name. Beowulf called him Newbie. You guys, I was sitting outside. Do you guys want to see my doggy? Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? Oh. Anyway, so I was sitting outside with her, actually. It was literally like 1, 2 in the morning, and we were watching a meteor shower. Yeah, we were watching a meteor shower. I was outside with my mom, and this is bringing back memories. My mom tripped over a plant and she fell. Anyway, so I was outside, I was sitting in the grass watching this meteor shower. I was writing at the same time. I had my phone, and I was writing on the Wattpad app, and I was writing the scene where Newbie first came to Beowulf's school, and he saw that he boxed. So I ended up calling him Newbie because he was new at boxing. He had never done it before, and that was just Beowulf's nickname for him. The nickname was not supposed to stick. I swear it was not supposed to stick, but it did. And then halfway through the book, I realized that it was still there. And then I was like, you know what? It's kind of cute. Beowulf's got his own little nickname for him. And he only said Ridge when he was being serious or when he was drunk. He had a drinking problem, even though he didn't want to admit it. A few of you guys even mentioned that. You're just like, he's kind of an alcoholic, and he really was. He didn't want to drink. He didn't want to be anything like Niles and his little alcoholic problem. And Beowulf wanted to be healthy. He wanted to know what was going into his body and how it was going to affect him and all that. But whenever he got just that one little sip of alcohol, he just went crazy for it, and he should not ever drink, Beowulf. But anyway, you guys, so the name Newbie was not supposed to stick, but it did, and then I was like, hey, it's kind of a cute nickname anyway, so yeah. I lost my train of thought again. Oh. I have to clarify something. It was in the cafeteria scene. It was Ridge's first day in Beowulf's school, and Jonah and Abram, they met him. Jonah got mad Jonah Cherry. Jonah got mad at Ridge because he was touching a necklace that he had. The necklace was to symbolize ranking, and his necklace in specific meant he was a beta and he was high ranking. He did something within the pack to merit a badge. When I first started the book, I had huge plans for the necklace, and I was even going to include it for the next book for James, because I knew I wanted to write a book for James, and I was like, I was going to add the necklace in his book, but I ended up only mentioning the necklace like once or twice, and then I brought it back at the very end to just like clear some things up, and I had Beowulf asked some bullshit question about like what it meant and all that, because apparently Ridge never took it off, even though I never mentioned that. So yeah, I had huge plans for it, and I thought it was a cool idea, but it didn't go far. And I'm pretty bummed still that the ideas didn't pan out. I even did a whole lot of research for different kind of pendants and necklaces and rings and just all different kinds of things to get inspiration for what this necklace would look like. And it didn't pan out, and I'm still a little bit bummed about it. But yeah, if I could do it again, I I would not even add the necklace. I would not even just add the necklace into the book because it had no place in the book, and I don't know. So, when I go back and edit it someday, I will probably just fix it and just take the whole necklace scene out and just never mention it again. We'll just forget about it. The necklace never happened. It never happened. Yeah. But I needed a reason for Jonah to get mad at I needed a reason for Jonah to get mad at Ridge, and I came up with the necklace, and I was like, that's perfect! And then I never spoke of it again. Yeah, because I'm great like that. Yeah. So that was my little clarification. It was a really long clarification, I'm sorry. But, Ridge. I did not want to be cliche. I wanted to be different from the other werewolf books I had read on Wattpad. So I did not make Ridge an alpha. Because all the books I had read, they were all these big, strong, tough alphas. A lot of them had dark backgrounds. A lot of them were really vicious, I guess you could say, and dangerous, and their mates kind of like helped tone them down and all that. And those are really cool ideas. I really enjoyed the books, but I didn't want mine to be that way. She's just staring at me. Anyway, I didn't want mine to be like that, so I made him a beta. And now that I go back, I'm just like, maybe I should have made him an alpha, because I have beta, alpha, omega, and it just sounds funny in my own head. And so I just think it should have been alpha, beta, omega. But, you know, it is how it is. I feel like Ridge is good as the beta, and James is the alpha. Okay, so I think it is important to mention Braider. A lot of you didn't like Braider, and that is okay. He was not meant to be a character you liked. He was a necessary evil. Even though some of you don't even think that, you're just like, Braider just needs to leave. But he was a necessary evil. He was a necessary evil. Braider had his own issues. His mother had cancer. His father was being transferred to Africa to a doctor, which is actually a real thing, you guys. But we're gonna stay on topic. Anyway, so Braider had his own issues. He was jealous of He was jealous of Beowulf because Beowulf had both his parents. They were healthy, they were at home with him, and they showed him lots of love. Beowulf had the good life, and Braider was dealt a shit hand for life. He was a necessary evil because I needed him to help Beowulf get to Ridge. That's the best way I can put it. Because Braider would hurt Beowulf and Ridge would take him home and fix him up. Yeah. So I needed Braider there to help Beowulf get to Ridge, because Beowulf was kind of in his own world. He didn't need any other friends. He already had one good friend. He was his best friend. It was Niles. He had his boxing and he had his schooling. So he didn't really need anyone in his life, and he didn't want to be in a relationship, and he was a homophobe. Now, I didn't really mention much about him being a homophobe, even though I wanted him to be like a hardcore homophobe, but that just didn't work out, because I was kind of like, how do you be a homophobe? It was an honest question I had. I was like, I don't know how to make my character be a homophobe, so I kind of just, he was kind of a silent homophobe, I guess, because me personally, I didn't understand, I still don't understand how you can be a homophobe, so I couldn't really make my character a homophobe because I didn't know how. If that makes any sense at all. I don't know. Anyway, so I needed him because he was a necessary evil and he was gonna help Beowulf and Ridge. Yeah. Also, I wanted drama in the book. I wanted something dramatic. So, Niles, Beowulf's best friend, I had him get kidnapped. So I told you guys I didn't have any notes, but halfway through the book, some ideas came to me, and so I started jotting down these little notes. So I guess I did have some notes, but you know. So Niles getting kidnapped was one of the things I had in my notes, and I had a few other things, but they just never happened because the book was getting really long and I didn't really want 50 plus chapters. Even though if I go back and edit, I will probably add those extra scenes in because I feel like it would tie up some loose ends. So, you know. Anyway, sorry. So I had Niles get kidnapped, and he was literally kidnapped for like maybe 24 hours. It wasn't long at all. But some pretty nasty stuff happened to Niles. As I showed, he was beaten up, he was terrified because he was kidnapped by rogue werewolves. He didn't know about the supernatural, he didn't know werewolves were a thing, and he was kidnapped by them, he was tortured by them, and then he had to witness Ridge tearing them apart, literally piece by piece. So, yeah, that is how Niles found out about the supernatural, that is how we found out about Ridge, and yeah, it was necessary, but I mainly just wanted drama in the book, so yeah. But funny story, well, not really funny, but interesting, when I was coming up with Niles' name, his name was originally going to be Miles. Niles with an M. M-I-L-E-S. Because I like the name Miles, but when I was writing it out, I accidentally put an N instead of an M, and I was looking at it and I was like, huh, I really like that name, Niles. So it became Niles, and looking back, I just feel like he is a Niles. Like, if I were to change his name to Miles, I don't feel like it would fit. It's just like his character, his personality, it just, I don't know, I feel like it's a Niles and not a Miles. So, yeah. That is how Niles got his name. It was originally going to be Miles, but I had a little typo and it became Niles. So, I wanted Beowulf to have a sport. And I didn't want him to just be on the normal sports that you read about all the time, which is football and basketball. And I was thinking about maybe baseball, but then as I was coming up with his character, I was like, no, he's not really a baseball kind of guy. So then I was like, boxing. Boxing's awesome. So I made him a boxer, and you guys, I like to watch boxing. I like to watch other sports, but I don't understand the rules. So I tried to incorporate it, but I didn't want to incorporate too much because I didn't want to get it wrong. So I looked up things online. I watched YouTube videos of boxing and was trying to understand the rules, but I am not a good self-teacher. I'm just not. I'm a visual learner. I need somebody to show me, somebody else to teach me. So yeah, that's why I didn't have too many boxing scenes, but just enough to actually let you guys know that that was his sport. So I also really just wanted to mention he had training, because I don't know. I was 17. I was weird. I still am. But yeah. Anyway. I am so sorry, guys. This was all over the place, literally. And I look like shit. My eye is hurting. Like this stupid thing. My dogs are going crazy, and this video is way too long, and my tea got cold. So I'm gonna end this video right here. Make sure you guys hit that like button and you subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. I don't know when that'll be, because if I tell you guys a day, it won't come out. Because my life hates me. The universe is against me. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go ice my eye for the millionth time. My dog is doing something weird. She's trying to knock stuff over. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this part right here. You guys have a great day, evening, night. Have a wonderful life. That sounded really sarcastic. It was not sarcastic. Have a wonderful life. Don't have trouble like me. Don't stab yourself in the eye, please. Do not recommend it. It hurts really bad. It's hard to do everyday things. Yeah. Okay. You guys have a great day, great evening, great night. I will see you guys the next time I manage to make a video. Okay? Okay. Bye-bye. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Bye.